Yo guys, we already have a video unlocking direct access to Icebreaker right over here. Please check it out if you guys haven't already, because it's going to make the rest of this process so much easier. This guide specifically is going to be how to clear all the AI and survive on Icebreaker if you were a solo, duo, or trios. Even if you're a trio, but both your teammates have died and you need to solo clear out Boiler Room in trios, or solo clear Wedge in trios. This will be a guide on how to do it. This shows my methodology, as well as I'll include a few other people's methods, including people like Tiggs, some of the other big guides out there, or even like Axel or something like that. I'll include their methods to how to clear this stuff as well. So hopefully this gives you guys a foolproof way. The last thing I will tell you guys is sometimes there is nothing you can do to survive on Icebreaker. The AI will just absolutely smoke you no matter what is going on, no matter they just bug, and sometimes there is nothing you do to survive. But this is the best strategy I've devised to keep me alive most of the time. Okay, so here are my kit recommendations going into Icebreaker for the strategies that I am going to give you. Now, my recommendation is I don't even go in with a headset or a helmet. I just go in with a body armor. One of the body armors I get off a previous run from Black Division. This yellow one has tier 4 soft armor on the sides and has tier 3 soft armor on the front and back, as well as obviously whatever plates you put in there. Tier 6 plates help if you're having a really hard time surviving, so tier 6 plates can be helpful, but just simply running tier 5 is totally fine. Plus, it's very, very easy just to drop the armor and replace it with one of the other Black Division that you headshot in Boiler Room or Helipad or at some various point throughout the process. My recommendations is if you want ears, no need for a helmet. Bring in the gas mask. You'll see here I have the M53A1 gas mask, but you can wear the GP7 gas mask. It just messes with your vision a little bit more and your hearing as well, so I try not to wear that one, and I just prefer the M53A1s that the Black Division drop. Then to my kit, I like to run an M4 with a scope. Some people prefer and think it's easier to see through the volumetric lighting of the smoke grenades with a hollow sight, so you're more than welcome to use that if that's your preference. It's also cheaper, but for me, I'm just a scope enjoyer when it comes to fighting AI. I like to do little pixel peeks and take advantage of the flaws within AI, so it's pretty easy to do it with a scope, and that's my preferred method. So here's my M4 build. I also run a 100-round mag. Now, I will save the 100-round mag. I'll put M995 in there that I got from a previous run. I will fill that mag, and I'll use that for Boiler Room, just in case if I get any weird pickles or I'm getting shot and I'm just need to spray and pray, or 3 of them push me at once, or whatever it is. You just don't want to get caught reloading. So I use the 100-round mag for Boiler Room, and I also use it for when I'm fighting Wedge, because if you just don't really know how to predict the Wedge AI as much, and sometimes they'll be like crouch walking through the smoke towards you and at you, and you just need to spray it all, like 3 or 4 of them in one, 3-second period of time. So based off all that stuff you just heard, also my next recommendation is to bring a lot of smoke grenades. Now, this varies depending on how much experience you have running through it. If you're watching this video, you most likely don't have a ton of experience and you're looking for a more tried and true method to get you through the map more often. So we would like to bring around 6 to 10 smoke grenades. Now, it depends how many people you have in your party that you're bringing on Icebreaker. My recommendation is for 6 to 10 smokes for every single player. These smokes are going to be keeping you safe in Boiler Room. If you're solo, bring 10. You're probably going to use 4 to 5 in Boiler Room and 4 to 5 against Wedge. Painkillers. Make sure you have enough painkillers and make sure you have a full CMS, as well as you're going to need the C4 charge and a green flare. The green flare spawns at the beginning, so you don't necessarily need that, but I like to bring one just in case because I don't want to rely on myself remembering in the minute and 30 seconds it takes for me to load into raid. If I do forget to pick up that green flare, I am screwed. So I like to bring the green flare, and just make sure you have all that, your heals. If you want to do a skip, bring the ER card. But that covers the basis of the kit. You just really need mags. I don't even bring repack ammo because I get my repack ammo off the Black Division. An armor. I don't bring a helmet. I don't even bring a headset because I get the headset off the Black Division that I kill. If I'm solo, I'll bring a headset. If I'm running duos or trios, I do not bring a headset, and I just grab it off the first set of Black Division. And I usually will end up swapping out my armor because it gets kind of laced up. That covers the kit. Now into the first steps. So by now, you guys probably already know how to take care of this first section. So this first section is really, really simple. It's just clearing out the rogues. Now, take your time, do right-hand peeks. If you want to clear the whole map, you're going to have to try to be pretty quick with it. So I either recommend completely skipping this section, which you guys can, watch a little clip that I'll insert later on how to do the skip. But for now, I'll show you guys how to clear it. It's basically just try to stick to your right hand. You'll see my screen and my teammate's screen. You're just taking right hands. We walk in to bait them up the stairs, clear out the rooms. Just try to take your right hand. Try to make sure you aim for the head. It's pretty simple. They're not too scary. The only thing you gotta be careful is when Knight is about to push. If you can do your best just to walk in, walk out, walk in, walk out until you can bait him to chase up the stairs. The one recommendation I have for this section that you may struggle with is dying to the enemies while clearing the staircase going down. What I do often is take an M67 hand grenade and I will underhand it down the staircase just to clear the AI out of that direct room. And then when you go down, I just simply close the big doors and clear one side at a time. Like I said, try to do it as quick as possible. But this part, there's not too much of a guide part for it because it's kind of just clearing out the AI. They're not anything particular. You don't need to use any cheat sheets. Just take simple right hand peeks. My recommendation is to jiggle. So like you'll see often I will jiggle these corners. I'll leave a little bit of the footage here so you guys can see. But I will jiggle these corners just to aggro the AI so that they actually move to try to chase me. And when they try to move and chase me, I will then just wait for them to turn the corner and shoot them right in the face. Generally pretty easy kills, but that's the first section. So if you want to make it through the whole map, I'd recommend trying to go for a skip, but relatively straightforward. Now the boiler room, this is where it varies. So here are the steps for my boiler room strategy. So whether you're a solo, duo, or trios, if you're trios, you're gonna have 2 people down below in the boiler. If you're solo, you're gonna obviously be the only person down in the boiler. And if you're duos, you're gonna have 1 guy up top, as you can see on my screen, sitting there doing the peaks, and 1 person down below. You're gonna throw 2 smokes here on the left side, 1 far, 1 close. And then in the middle boiler, you're gonna throw 1 close. You can throw 1 far as well if you'd like. Honestly, the only smoke that you actually really need to throw is the middle one, the one in the very, very middle. And you'll see that I utilize this pretty heavily in my strategy. Basically, what you're gonna do is when you run up and start it, you're gonna try to see if you can get a pick. Just look at the doors on the right-hand side, see if you can get a pick, shoot them. You'll see sometimes I'm in the smoke during the peak, sometimes I'm not, and I try to see the silhouettes. Keep in mind, do not go past them after this moment. Do not go past the midpoint of your smoke. So the point where the smoke is emitting, like where the actual grenade is, do not push past the actual grenade or else you will very likely get lasered. To see the silhouettes properly, you actually have to be inside of the smoke. You guys will see a lot of segments here where I walk into the smoke and my whole screen turns dark and I can see the silhouettes of the black division. So you're going to want to utilize this. Sometimes they will shoot you, and they, especially after you kill one or shoot one, they will spray into the smoke, and you'll see that I retreat out, and they usually stop shooting or they just have terrible accuracy. So this, like I said, the strat is not like foolproof, but it definitely is the most consistent strategy I've found to completing boiler room without dying. Now I have died a few times out of the last like 10 runs, maybe once or twice out of the last 10 runs, most of those being trios. The last I don't know, 4 or 5 solo runs, I've not had a single issue. But with trios, I think I had a trio and both my teammates died in the beginning section just in a really funny way. But since they both died, I had to complete boiler room as a solo in trios. So there were 8 of them. But nonetheless, as you guys will see here, there's a bunch of clips. I'm just going to let a bunch of these play out so you guys can watch a couple different scenarios. That's the strat, is you're basically just going to throw in the smoke, and you're going to utilize the boilers for cover. Keep jiggling between all 3. And the reason why I recommend to start throwing smokes down the lanes is so that you can peek the lanes to make sure you're not getting pushed on the first floor. That's the most likely way you are to die on the boilers, is when they push you on the first floor. It's at least in duos and trios. Solos, you're very likely to die from the rafters, so it's just making sure that you always have a smoke. So I keep smoke grenades on me. So after I'm done throwing the smokes, I loot my backpack and I put more smokes onto my character, just so I have, as each smoke runs out, I throw in a new one, and I use that as my safety barrier. And I'll utilize the smoke the same way you're seeing in all these clips, where I use it to see the silhouettes. Now, there's only 4 in solos, so it's pretty easy actually to kill all of them, especially if you can pick 1 or 2 right off the rip. So whether you're solo, duo, or trios, sometimes once you start jiggling a little bit after you've killed all the ones that you hear moving, you don't hear anyone moving anymore, count them up. I believe in trios it can be 8, in duos it's 6, and in solos it's 4. If you do not have that many bodies laying around the boiler room, that means they're stuck behind some of these doors. Now, this is kind of the scary part to push. I would not recommend just leaving them and moving on. I would recommend making sure that you kill all of them, just in case so you don't die later. And just so the footsteps don't, and them like making callouts does not mess with you later on in the raid when you're clearing other sections. You don't want to be confused trying to figure out where the last Black Division guy you hear spinning is because of you didn't clear out the previous section. Or simply just getting shot in the back when you're backed up healing or doing surgery because he like walks slowly up the stairs and you just think it's one somewhere where they were not going to push you. So next up we have the helipad. The helipad is honestly pretty straightforward. You actually don't have to be as scared as you do for any of the sections. It's relatively easy to clear out. I do struggle a little bit just because the vision can be kind of hard here, but I'll usually just jiggle this right side a little bit and get a couple shots. Just do not repeat. If they shoot at you, just stay in cover for a solid like 20 to 30 seconds. Versus if you just wait 30 seconds, you can literally peek them again and you have that reset of that aggression timer. So they're not going to shoot at you for another like half of to a third of a second. You have of time of them being on your screen before they start shooting at you again. Versus if you are repeaking and you don't wait to reset the aggression timer, they can start shooting at you the first frame that you come on screen. They can. And that's just not a good idea. If you want to make it the most foolproof way that you don't die, just don't repeat. But nonetheless, I pick the right a little bit here. Maybe I'll pick one or pick two. Then I just underhand a grenade right over and make sure you don't kill yourself with the nade. It doesn't really even need to hit them, but you can honestly usually kill one or two with the grenade. They're not very intelligent on the helipad when it comes to dodging nades. Like I've killed all of them with one grenade before by accident. But underhand a grenade strip and run straight to this box on the left. Now, it will seem very, very shady when you first do this because the rogues, or I keep calling them the rogues, but they're the Black Division. The Black Division will be on the other side of the box from you. One of them can like kind of crouch up onto the right-hand corner and you will see his head. And it is kind of, I've never seen it, but it's like, it seems possible for him to shoot you, but I've never actually experienced them shooting you. Sometimes they literally, like, they just crouch right in front of you on this box. But hug the box, don't go too far left, and then just slowly right-hand lean out. If you get their aggression and you do not kill the one that aggroed onto you, wait a few seconds, then slowly lean back out again. Wait like 10, 15 seconds, then slowly lean back out, get the pick. If you're not really sure where they are and you need to get the information, do the jiggle. You'll see a couple clips of me like doing the jiggle where I do this weird like little spinning walk for information. You'll see me do this little spinning peek where I like slowly walk in a circular motion and peek out slightly further than I did the time before and just completely focused, ready to hit a headshot. Or you can simply take a little side step and then slowly lean out. Take another side step, slowly lean out more. Side step, slowly lean out more. Now you'll run into one tricky spot where they do sit behind either the far right box or the box in the back left side. Sometimes they just don't move. If you really want to use a nade, you can. But if they're sitting behind that box, I generally just try to approach whichever side has the right hand. If you want to play it super, super safe, you can push the left side of the box if you're comfortable with the left-hand swing. And that way, if you miss, they'll probably just try to run around the box or reposition to a different spot instead of just simply shooting you. But sometimes they do. Have confidence in your aim. Slowly walk up, slowly peek. You can even like do the slight. I wouldn't recommend doing the jiggle for this one. I would recommend if you're going to push them there, either just full commit and spray it like it's like it's another player you're pushing, and just like fucking walk around the side of the box and just fucking spray. Aim for head level. You just never know if they're crouched or standing when they're behind the box. Or simply walk up, slowly lean a little bit. Nothing. Okay, take a little side step, lean a little bit more, sidestep, lean a little bit more until you can see the edge of their head, and then you just lean out and kill them. Next is the section down below. This section, you'll see me take the left hand a little bit and try to shoot the ones that are below the staircase. You have to be very, very careful with these guys. Or what I generally do is I run across actually, and I take the right hand peek from behind that giant little floaty device or whatever that little tank is. And I'll just take this little right hand peek, underhand a grenade down the staircase sometimes, and I've killed up to 4 with this one grenade. So also, if helipad, it's like 3 if you're solo, 4 if you're duos, and I don't know, 5 or 6 if you're trios. But now down below, I don't even know how many there are here. I want to say it's like 8 or something like that. Just be super, super clear, careful clearing this. It's relatively simple. So if you're solo, you're just gonna underhand the nade down, get them to push back, and then slowly first, before you even throw a grenade down there, just run in the staircase and jump across. They might shoot at you. Wait a couple seconds. Make sure your painkillers are popped before you re-peek. Now you can peek the left side of this. I don't do it, and you can kill them when they're crouched and lined up right there. But I generally take the right-hand peek. Make sure it's not on this, bottom right corner where the ship starts to curve. Then I check the boxes in the back, that big like tower set of gas tubes or whatever. Make sure that there's not one sitting right there, and then I'll slowly get a little bit of a peek. I'll take a side step and I'll slow lean out, and then I'll look for them on the left side of my screen, just standing or crouched right there. I'd look for the little black TC-800 helmets, and then I just tap. There's usually a lot more. There's never one there. There's usually two or three like crouched or standing right there. So you got to take one at a time, let them de-aggro, wait for them to finish moving, re-peek, try to take out another one. Pretty straightforward. Once you're ready to push down the stairs and you don't have it anymore in visual sight and you've cleared underneath the staircase by like peeking from the right-hand side or throwing the grenade down, toss the grenade down the stairs, wait for it to blow up, run down. Now you're going to take slow left-hand peeks. Now they're relatively simple. You have to be careful of them swinging wide. This is where if you have a duo, it can be relatively easy because you have a teammate who sits there and they watch the very, very wide angle. They go to the bottom of the stairs and they go left by these poles. Just make sure that your gun isn't going to go sideways when you shoot. But they're going to watch the wide swing, and then the other teammate is going to push up against the side of the ship and slowly take those left-hand fights and just tap them in the head. You'll see a couple clips of me and my duo. You can see both our screens. You'll see us taking out this section quite a few times. That section is relatively straightforward. Next, there's going to be 3 Black Division guarding the C4 charge door. I honestly do not clear these guys often by myself. I've done it in solos, and I approach from below. They generally won't even shoot at you when you approach from below, or if they do, they end up shooting the floor or the railing and not even shooting you, but you can get cooked relatively easy. It just takes one bullet to slide through and hit you in the head. So there's a couple different ways to approach this. One is approaching them straight on. You have to be careful because they can shoot you from really, really far away down the pathway, so make sure you have a scope. But it's just same as you did with the last one here. You're going to slowly lean out and gain information. Just try to barely see their heads. If you come from below, it's pretty easy because you can see them before they can see you, and you can usually just tap them all in the heads. The last one who's up the staircase a little bit is a little bit riskier. You just kind of have to like push them a little bit or like walk up and then walk backwards, which you're going to be hearing a lot of that strat coming here in the next few seconds. We're on to the Wedge strat. So when you're on Wedge and you're fighting Wedge, you're going to see a few clips of me fighting Wedge here. Now, his AI is totally broken. When you first open this door, do not, I repeat, do not peek the hallway. You will get shit on, okay? It's not a you might, it is a you will. I have done it so many times. His AI will not be peeking you, and then he will run across the hallway in the back of the kitchen, run across the hallway while leaning. So he's sideways running, side strafing at full running speed while leaned, spraying APSX or M993 at your head. You will die. I will show you a clip right here of him doing this, and I somehow survived. He was not on my screen. He did not give any voice lines. I was not even peeking him. He could not see me. The AI is just fucking insane. So don't peek it. Just simply bounce a nade off the wall right here. It can be a regular grenade. It can be a smoke grenade. I recommend a smoke grenade just because it gives you preliminary cover. Then you're going to go take 2 smoke grenades and you're going to underhand them down the hallway. Try to get one in front of the cafeteria door and then one in front of the other door that's further down. You basically just want this corridor filled with smoke. You want as much smoke between you and the enemies as possible. Now, keep in mind, I've heard and seen that those little gas grenades, the little smoke grenades that you need a gas mask for, which, by the way, I probably should have mentioned earlier, you do need the gas mask. It can be the GP7. It can be the ones you find off the Black Division. It doesn't really matter, but you're going to need one of those. Those gas grenades, you do not want to stand inside of those, even if those are going off inside of your smoke, because it kind of gives the enemy vision on where you are somehow. Like somehow their AI can see you and the smoke kind of cancels each other out. So you got to be a little bit careful. But as you'll see, here's my strat is I throw on smoke grenades and then I just look for the silhouettes. Now, as you can tell, when I'm out of the smoke, it's kind of hard to see. You can't really see very well. When you're inside of the beginning of the smoke is when it's very, very easy to see the silhouettes and see lights and see people. So what I do is I'll just slowly push up. I'll just make sure I watch the kitchen for a few seconds inside the smoke. Then I'll watch up and I'll peek the cafeteria. Now, they'll start lining up pretty easy. You'll see in all my clips here. It's relatively straightforward. Just don't sit there and not do anything. I think movement is pretty important and gaining all the information. So one, as the smoke start running out, make sure you throw new smoke grenades down and just try to keep them between the 2 doors. Always make sure you have smokes, um, and just keep peeking all of these things. You'll see I just keep side strafing back and forth. You'll see my strat here, and then you just aim for the head. If I ever have to reload, I'll back up, or if they throw flashbangs, just make sure you're not gonna get flashbanged. It's something that happened to me a lot as I got flashbanged. I had to have my teammate guide me out of there. Now I never died because of it. This is where it can be a little bit odd. So as you can tell in this clip that you're actually watching, you're seeing my teammate walk around and loot. This is actually trios. So I am solo. I am the only one who kills anything. I am solo trios against Wedge. If you run into a weird scenario where the boss or his guards stop pushing you, run all the way into the cafeteria, into the middle of the cafeteria, and then just back up into the hallway again. Do that 5 or 6 times, and then they will push. If they don't, sometimes you end up with one that's bugged up the staircase or in the kitchen. You're gonna have to either one, use the smoke strat just in a different area. So either throw it on the other side of the hallway, throw it down the hallway, throw it at the bottom of the staircase, or use regular grenades. The biggest problem I find is when they're stuck at the top of the staircase. What I'll do is I'll peek it, not actually peek them up the stairs, but I'll go to the bottom of the staircase and then walk 2 or 3 steps up just to trigger them. For some reason, the audio of you walking up the stairs triggers them to push sometimes. Do that a few times and see if you can coerce him to chase you down, and then you just kill him as he comes down. Now, be careful. They are absolutely cracked. My recommendation is to have a different teammate watching the staircase from a different angle while you walk up the stairs, and then if you start hearing footsteps towards you, you sprint and haul ass away. He'll be looking at you. Your teammate can shoot him inside the head. It'll be easy kill. You'll see a few other clips of me in the trios here where we can't get the guy to come out. We try smoking out the other hallway, still can't see him. He's stuck up the staircase, and it's just a little bit weird sometimes, and it's kind of hard to get them. But as you'll see right there, he finally comes out once we start pushing everything. That's the full team dead. Just using smokes and peeks, throwing a regular grenade up the staircase to clear him out of that area if he decides not to push down no matter what. And then slowly push up and clearing your angles. Like I said, you can do the little circular walk peek thing to get aggro and then just run away and use that to get his position to change. But you also just might be hearing the next set of 6 Black Division up top instead of, one of the bosses left behind. Now, the number of AI in this area with Wedge varies depending on it just varies. Like you could have 4 plus him or 5 plus him. I think it varies no matter what. Like there's always a chance to have one extra. So, and they keep changing it. So whatever the wiki says is going to be correct. Now, we're almost clear of all the AI. The last set of AI we have to do is actually the 6 up top. So here you'll see me still in trios clearing it. And you'll see I peek all the way. So you go out the door, you go up, and then you'll see I peek, and all of the 5 or 6 of these guys are at the top of the staircase. So what I do is I shoot one in the leg, and then I back up. Now what's going to happen is they're all going to start to push me. My teammate, whose screen you actually can't see, you just see my other buddy who's looting because he doesn't want to fight these guys. He dies to them too often. You'll see he's covering the other side of the staircase, and what's going to happen is they're all going to be looking at me, and he's just going to shoot them all in the head as they look at me. So I make sure I keep aggro on me by just peeking every couple seconds and shooting them or whatever. So they're going to be aggro on me. So you'll see they're not looking. Teammates shooting them in the head. Easy kills. Easy kills. Now I have to make sure that I'm ready to re-peek in any situation. Just so that sometimes they will switch aggro to my teammate, and I don't want, if they're aggroed on him, they can shoot at him before they could actually even see him as they're walking down the stairs, and we don't want that. We don't want him to die, so just be ready to peek again and whatnot. So here you'll see only a couple of them come down, not the rest of them. So here's how we'll aggro them is I'll walk up, and I'll just touch the staircase, and I'll back up. If you do that, it causes them to push a lot of times. So, yep, you'll see. And I'll try to shoot. I can't hit that shot. My teammate shoots him in the side of the head. So what I do is, even if I don't feel confident, what I'll do is just to make sure their aggro is on me, as they're coming down the stairs, I'll just tap their leg. Like you'll see, I just tap their leg, or I just peek them for a second. I don't even try to kill them, just to make sure they're looking at me and not looking at my teammate, so my teammate can guaranteed get a free headshot on them. Relatively easy just to take advantage of the AI. So like that one was like getting ready to look at him because I didn't peek in time, or this guy is. So I try to take the kill. I'm like, hey, he's looking at you. I'm gonna get the kill. and it's relatively simple to clear them. If you're solo, it's the same strat. Some people like to push that way. They basically they'll push you in the hallway that you guys see me in. But it's pretty simple. Just like don't try to fight them on the staircase. Is my recommendation if you're solo. Don't try to fight them on the staircase. Just pull aggro like you guys saw me doing this clip, but then back up into the back of the hallway and just wait for them to push you in the hallway to shoot them in the head. I'll show you guys some clips of me doing this solo as well, and I think solo and duos clearing this yesterday, and I have some clips from that. So that's gonna be how to clear all of the AI from the map. Now, none of these strats are foolproof. What I will tell you is my words of advice are one, never repeat for any of these things. Like, do not repeat the same angle. Um, honestly, don't even repeat a different angle. Wait, if they are aggroed and they shoot at you, or they like, I don't want to say if they yell at you because sometimes they will yell at you and voice comp to you when they can't actually see you. So look, they'll do it through the smoke. It doesn't mean they're gonna shoot at you. It doesn't mean they're not, but it also doesn't mean they are. So the voice comms don't mean too much. You're more than welcome to play it safe and back up when you do see one of them or hear one of them yell enemy spotted, or hey, I see him over there, whatever the hell they yell. Um, my recommendations are just don't double peek, don't repeat. Make sure you clear the angles first, and let them on aggro. If you're in a weird spot, specifically boiler room and with Wedge, always make sure you have backup smoke grenades on you. Like once I throw my ones in boiler room, I make sure I fill my pockets back up with smokes just in case, so that if I get in a tricky spot, I can throw a smoke straight down and I can hide in it. That has kept me safe a lot of time and saved my life many, many times. It's not gonna be foolproof. You're still gonna die every now and then. One of them is just gonna happen to see you through the smoke. Every now and then you get like a Black Division guard who's just absolutely cracked. Um, it seems like they're randomly generated just how good they are sometimes, and sometimes you just get one who's 10 out of 10 cracked score, and he's unstoppable, and he will shred everybody. So my recommendations are never repeat. Always let them de-aggro after you aggroed them once. Always let them on-aggro, because if you don't, you're probably gonna die. Like, the chances of you dying are just so much higher, and it's an unnecessary risk that you just don't have to take. Simply unpeak and just let the patience kick in. Be patient for about 10, 15 seconds. Don't repeat. Then you can slowly repeat again, and you're back to no aggression, and you reset that timer that it takes for them to aimbot you straight onto your head. Now, outside of that, tip number two is just always make sure you have smoke grenades on you. In any section, these smoke grenades work, whether it's the spot underneath of helipad, whether it's these last six in the staircase, whether it's Wedge or boiler room, the smoke grenades stop the AI from being able to see you very well and gives you an advantage because it gives you the silhouettes of them. You basically get built-in aimbot. So we're not aimbot, but you get built-in wall hack. So you're able to see them through the smoke and they can't see you most of the time. So smoke grenades, keeping them on you at all times, making sure you're bringing enough is very, very clutch. Outside of that, my biggest recommendation is just to do it more. And honestly, if you're having a hard time completing it in duos or trios and you keep dying, it's going to sound crazy, but my recommendation would actually be to play it solo. And that's not because it makes you better. It's actually because of just how much easier you'll see it is. And you get a much better understanding for how you and you alone affect the Black Division's movement. Because when you're in a duo trio, they're responding to multiple like stimuluses, and they're not just responding to you and your reactions. They're responding to a full team and your whole team's line of sight and stuff. So when you play it solo, like Boiler Room only has four. So when you throw that smoke grenade up the middle and then you push, sometimes you literally can kill all four of them in that first spray before you retreat. I haven't done it in solos, killed all four in one spray, but I've killed three in once in that one little spray at that door. I've killed three of them. Now there's just one Black Division at the fight, and it's pretty easy. You just literally listen to his audio and you start peeking to where he is. Um, and it's relatively easy to get the kills. Helipad, there's only three. Down below, there's still a lot. Clearing Wedge, clearing Wedge is easy whether you're a solo, duo, trio. It literally is the same difficulty. It's simply throwing the smokes, and just the hardest part is getting them to actually push you. In my experience, I haven't. The only parts I've died on Wedge is when I pushed the AI outside of the smoke. So once again, using the smokes, my other advice: play solo if you're having a hard time in duos or trios, especially trios. Trios, if not everyone's experienced, it seems to definitely be harder because of there's just and take a lot longer just because there's simply so much more AI. Like the AI is like triple the amount, which makes sense because it's 3 times the amount of players. But when you're getting dealing with like one more or two more AI per section from solos to duos, but you're dealing with double, like to triple the amount. Like there's just so many AI, especially the last few sections, like Wedge, the last ones in the cabins, and the ones below Helipad. It can just be so many AI to deal with in trios. And it just makes you take too long, and you just tend to play passive because you don't want to mess up your teammates and stuff. So try out solos if you're not. Also, recommendation: run a 5.56 gun, preferably one that takes M4 or HK mags, just because of it's a lot easier to use them. And just like you'll see my kit here. And my recommendation: just bring in a gun that uses 5.56, particularly ones that use M4 HK magazines, just because it's a lot easier to. You don't spend time repacking mags. You just drop your empty mags or unload the remaining bullets in them and pick up the mags off the Black Division.
Does it tell me I need gas masks before this?
Oh!